top 5 quarterback, and an Elko defense. Game over. Over! What happens then? Hello, TexAgs Rewind here, presented by Specs. I'm David Nuno. Got a great group with me. A guy named Nick Savage, who we like a lot, and Matthew Dawson, who speaks Spanish. Matthew, you on the show folded, right, Nick? Is that when I off?
Correct, yeah.
He said he did 5 years of Spanish, and then I had him try to...
Okay.
And all he said was adios. Like, we wanted him to do something in
Adios.
Spanish.
Was my accent that bad?
Adios.
Adios.
That was pretty good. But then 5 seconds ago, you spoke great Spanish.
I know.
So use that sentence again.
Yo puedo hablar español un poco, pero ¿por qué yo estudié español para 5 años en la pasada?
It was really good, except it felt like you had a little Tourette's in there, but it was good. It's good.
Oh, okay. But did I use the past tense? No,
estudio?
I need the accent on the estudio.
No, it was more the nervous, like, oh gosh, he's really having me speak Spanish.
Well, I mean, for the preterite form, right? Like, I studied. Is that?
Estudié.
Oh, estudié. Gosh, dang it. See, what am I doing?
Okay, watch your tone. Nick, what do we have on the show today?
I
heard that.
I thought you were gonna ask me something else.
What do you want me to ask?
I was just gonna say, David, ¿cómo está mi español?
Oh, muy bueno, señor. Estás muy bien.
Realmente puedo hablar, and I didn't finish what I was typing into Google Translator. So
AI. Use AI.
I was reading that, but we had OB, of course.
He's new. He's good.
Yeah. We had OB as I try
What
to
is
remember.
Riley doing by you? The other Riley, the Puig.
Puig, anything you'd like to add?
No, he doesn't have to talk.
Mi español es muy bueno.
You know,
¿Qué onda, compadre?
That's actually pretty good pronunciation. We lost our entire audience.
What I would like to add one thing, David.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I can't hear. Go ahead. Make sure to tune in to the Olympic opening ceremonies where LeBron James is the first NBA player.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Enough of that. Anyways, as I continue on, I know this has been the longest intro ever.
Oh
OB,
God.
Chad Withrow, Ross Stripling, awesome.
Yeah.
And then Nate Edwards, watch it.
And with that, we have number 21, Donovan Green. So back-to-back days of tight ends.
Yeah.
And Billy really went into depth about that position yesterday. So if you haven't listened to that, when I had Billy in studio, we did talk Donovan Green because we were talking about Trey Watson and then but let's not forget how freaking good he was his freshman year.
He really was. He had 22 catches, but he missed 2 games.
Yep.
He's a freshman. Now, can he block? Could he block better? Yeah, but you can say that about any freshman. Especially a freshman offensive lineman struggle in the SEC. So here's this kid. He comes in as a freshman, and blocking might have been an issue, but I was sold on him right away. Again, it was the Arkansas game that he really distinguished himself. I remember him catching a short pass, turn up field, and turn it into a 15, 20-yard gain right away. Showed that acceleration that he strikes me as a wide receiver in a tight end's body. Yeah. Just stay healthy. And I remember the catch he made right off the top of his shoes against Arkansas, and a big 3rd down conversion, if my memory serves. But I think he could be special as a receiver. Maybe I'm not saying he's going to be this guy, but maybe in the mold of the kid at Florida in 2020. That was the 5th pick overall. The Falcons. What was it? Pitts. Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. Yeah.
I'm not saying he's that good. He was the 4th player taken. Always have Matt over there to correct me. But
I'm surprised he's here.
The point I'm not saying he's going to be that. That's unfair to say, oh, you're going to be that. But I'm saying in that kind of mold, that kind of player, a tight end with wide receiver ability.
Yeah, he and I don't think this can be stressed enough. You said he had 22 catches his freshman year.
Yeah.
Right? In the worst offense we've seen here in forever. That was the team that averaged 19 and a half, 20 points a game, right? It was low.
Probably. Yeah.
And a team that went 5-7, and a team that lost to Appalachian State, and a team that just could not move the ball until the end of the year.
Yeah.
He had 9% of the total receiving yards gained in 2022.
Yeah, and he missed the first game. They didn't even throw at him. He got out there, and they didn't even throw at him against Sam Houston that year. And then, like I said, he didn't play against Florida, and he didn't play against Auburn. And they were just trying to figure some things out early. But I think he went out and he showed you what he could be at tight end as a freshman. Now, does he have to be better? Yeah. Is he going to be better? Yeah. I've said before, I think that there's a lot of positions right now that have the personnel that you can win with without, I don't have to question it.
Yep.
And I think he's the reason I feel that way about tight end, the primary reason.
Well, and he's a willing blocker, right?
Yeah.
Again, his size, his speed, and I just think, sorry this matters to me, he's a good kid. My few encounters with him, he loves being an Aggie. He gets this university, and to me that matters, especially if you're really good.
Didn't he get married?
He did, and it was this offseason, right?
Yeah, I think so. So that could have a positive or negative effect. Hopefully it doesn't.
For a good Aggie, a positive effect.
But yeah, then you're more focused. Hopefully, you don't have you have your priorities in line. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
He seems as that kind of dude for a while though. Like
yes,
as a freshman.
I like I said, he's one of the reasons I look at him as a threat.
Who are some teams that have a little grace and time to establish an identity?
Yeah, I think A&M is one. Boy, that Notre Dame game is just so interesting because I think there's a lot of pressure on Marcus Freeman in that game. Right? If you don't go to A&M and win in year 3, where you got a game better last year than the year before, there's a lot of expectations with Riley Leonard going up against his former head coach in Mike Elko. I'm fascinated by that game. And the pressure that's going to be on, there's an old saying in sports, it's getting late early. And that's what it's going to feel like for Notre Dame if they go to College Station and lose that game to A&M to start the season. But clearly, Mike Elko's got grace, this being his first season, and he's going to have some time to establish what he wants to do at A&M. And everything I hear about Mike shows that he's a ball coach, first and foremost, and he's not about anything else but ball. And that kind of reminds me of Josh Heupel in Knoxville. He's not a guy who's going to light it up with quotable quotes at SEC Media Days, but he's a football guy. He wants to play football, and that's it. He's not going to give you much to work with the media. I think Mike Elko's got a lot of that with him, which is a good thing. And I would say also in terms of establishing culture and having some grace, I look at Mark Stoops in Kentucky, and I think that he's basically got a lifetime contract there. So it's not like he's going to be given grace. I think 7 or 8 wins is always going to be just fine for Kentucky fans, and he's going to consistently do that. He's shown that over time at Kentucky. And while they may never win huge there, I saw a stat that I think that he's 2-24 at Kentucky against SEC teams that finish with a winning record in the SEC in his time there. But that really doesn't matter because they're not trying to compete at the highest level of the conference. They're trying to win 7 or 8 games a year, and Mark Stoops is good for that. So I think he's got a lot of grace in Lexington.
I find myself walking on to A&M, and, man, I am green to pitching. I threw like 70 innings in high school. I don't know what I'm doing, and I just tell Rob Childress, man, teach me. Show me the way. Show me what I need to do. I had this big curveball, this funky slot over the top that I still have, and it's probably my biggest strength. And, I was coachable, and I listened, and I just, kind of what you're asking, I knew that if I got bigger and stronger and just perfected my craft and listened to people that knew what they were doing, as far as guys that were on the team that had some success, talking Brooks Raley, Clayton Ellert, Barrett Laux, and then obviously the good coaching that we had at A&M. I just got better as I logged reps, and it really is a cool story, man. Like a walk-on to what you said, a 2-time All-American, drafted as a junior. Similar to what Prager just did, you feel like you have unfinished business, so you come back for another year. We fell short in 2012, but still had another really fun run at Omaha, and then get drafted to an awesome situation in LA, and the rest is history, man. So here we are.
What do you think you would have said had somebody told you, hey, you do this, you're going to be in the big leagues in 2024?
I would have said you're joking, man. I really wish I could, you guys could pull up a picture of what I looked like my freshman year in college. I was probably 6'2", 160 pounds, just a total string bean, not strong. I was throwing probably 85, 86 miles an hour. But, worked hard, man, and made that my dream, and made that the destination, and worked as hard as I could to get there. And here I am at 34 years old, 12, 13 years removed from Texas A&M even, and still playing a kid's game for a living, and just how special that is. So it's, yeah, I would have told that person, you're silly, but all the while working really hard behind the scenes to make it happen.
For one, starts with recruiting. You know, when we played in 21, that was the leftovers of Barry Odom and just the beginning of what Eli Drinkwitz could do on the recruiting trail. A lot of what he was deploying at that point were former Odom recruits and a couple of transfers in. He did not have the guys that he wanted to run his system. And after over a couple of years, he finally has those guys. Now, the recruiting has been hit or miss. Obviously, those post-COVID recruiting classes were very hit or miss as far as, analysis goes of what they could actually do based off of limited high school tape. But what they did really well was nail it in the transfer portal. He has been able to find guys who could not see the field at Oregon and Ohio State and bring them into Columbia and deploy them into a defense and an offense where they can utilize their talents and maximize what that is. So it is an overhauled roster. It is way more talented than what you guys saw a couple of years ago. And not only that, but he has an identity to work with. On defense, it is attack, havoc, blitz as much as you possibly can. On offense, he brought in Kirby Moore. It is still a lot of running back focused stuff that he likes, but it's a guy who's creative in how he deploys those running backs and can get the ball to slot receivers to make that noise, and it's particularly Luther Burden, who had 1,000 yards last year. So it's a fully focused program that what Eli Drinkwitz was, and what you saw last time was just the beginnings of what that team could be.
All right, do we let Tiny Cliff tell the people what to do since he hasn't spoken and he's there too?
No.
All right. Dawson, tell the people.
Nosotros te damos la bienvenida a TexAgs Rewind.
Just say English,
please like, comment, subscribe. Oh wait, are we still doing the intro? Oh gosh, did I totally screw that up?
No, keep this. Bye. See ya.